Fears of the novel coronavirus spreading widely among prison populations have caused some inmates jailed in the US and abroad to be released from custody earlier than expected. In this video, you will know the 5 celebrities released from prison during this global pandemic. 1. Julian Assange. Julian Assange, the founder and publisher of the WikiLeaks website, asked through his attorneys Wednesday to be released on bail from Belmarsh prison in London, where he was being jailed since April amid ongoing efforts by the Trump administration to have him extradited from the UK and put on trial for charges including violation of the US Espionage Act. Lawyers for the Australian native argued that he should be released because he suffers from health conditions that place him at a higher risk from the virus. But a British judge noted that he jumped bail before and denied the request. 2. Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen, President Trump's former personal attorney, sought a reprieve last week from the 3-year sentence he is currently serving in a New York prison as a consequence of pleading guilty to crimes including campaign finance violations. 10 months into his term, a lawyer for Cohen said his client has pre-existing health problems that makes him particularly vulnerable to the coronavirus and should be allowed to finish his term from home. That request was rejected Tuesday by a federal court judge, however, who ruled that it appeared the president's longtime lawyer was merely trying to inject himself into the news cycle. 3. Bill Cosby. A spokesman for disgraced comedian Bill Cosby said in a statement Wednesday that lawyers for the comic are considering filing a court motion requesting that he be released from prison early and allowed to finish his sentence under house arrest. Cosby, 82 years old, was convicted in 2019 of sexual assaulting and currently serving a prison sentence of between 3 and 10 years at a Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, where his spokesman indicated that prisoner is the mercy of other inmates. Those inmates could fall victim to the coronavirus and easily spread the disease to Mr. Cosby as they wheel him around in a wheelchair. Cosby's spokesman Andrew Wild said in the statement Fox News reported. 4. Michael Avenatti. Convicted attorney Michael Avenatti, who found fame representing a porn star who alleged to have had an extramarital affair with Mr. Trump prior to him becoming president, recently asked to be freed on bail while awaiting sentence for defrauding knife. Avenatti is vulnerable because his cellmate was removed from the cell due to flu-like symptoms and he is part of the general population incarcerated under unsanitary and disease-prone conditions. A lawyer for the attorney argued last week, adding that Avenatti also contracted pneumonia last year and is therefore particularly susceptible to the lung infections. U.S. District Court Judge Jamie Selna ultimately denied the request on Saturday, noting that there have been no reported cases of COVID-19 at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan, where Avenatti is being held. 5. The rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine is receiving an early release from prison due to fears about the spread of COVID-19, a judge ordered Thursday. U.S. District Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer, the judge who sentenced the rapper to prison, advised that he be moved to home confinement for the remaining 4 months of his 2-year prison term. The judge ordered the rapper's release from Queens Detention Facility following a petition by his lawyers. The rapper, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, requested compassionate release last month, arguing that his asthma condition made him particularly at risk during the pandemic. Mr. Hernandez has been complaining to prison officials this week of shortness of breath, but apparently the warden of his facility will not allow Mr. Hernandez to go to the hospital despite the recommendation of the facility's medical director that Mr. Hernandez be treated by a doctor at the hospital, his lawyers said at the time. Tekashi 69, who is also known as 69, was sentenced to 2 years in prison late last year on firearms and racketeering charges. Hernandez originally faced up to 37 years in prison but was allowed leniency after testifying against members of the 9 Gangsta Blood gang. Had the court known that sentencing Mr. Hernandez to serve the final 4 months of his term in a federal prison would have exposed him to a heightened health risk, the court would have directed that these 4 months be served instead in home confinement, until Meyer wrote in his order advising release earlier this week. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be safe. Peace.